because I learned out every day that I'm way down on the food chain. So we're married last August 15th. And we've been married with 254 days.
Yes.
So we have to do that at our age. We got to go do that. Start count days. But I was here last year, so I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, well, we told you, we had so much fun with you. Everybody knows me, I think.
So what have you been doing in the past year? You got to tell us that.
Well, I had my broken knee replacement fixed. That was the big thing. And
How's the dogs?
all the dogs are fine. Dogs are fine.
11 dogs.
11 dogs.
How many cats do you still have?
While you're talking.
Oh, probably altogether there's about 20. Okay. Little horses.
I'm Louise Sissy,
Huh? Oh, thank you.
and I'm living in Westtown, and I'm still teaching, and I have 2 grandchildren. I love to visit, so that's me. And I have
Things haven't changed much since last year. Praise the Lord. The old buddy Riley.
Evelyn Volkman. And I'm still working as a chair second assistant.
Where are you working?
In Kennett Square for a dentist.
Oh, okay.
And nothing changes much with me, which is good.
Yeah, I was supposed to say it. I'm Bonnie Crowley. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing as last year.
Where do you live? Where do you live, Bonnie?
I live in York County, up near 83. It's near Baltimore.
Oh,
A
okay.
nice location because I'm an hour's drive from Lancaster, Baltimore, Gettysburg, Hanover, and that area.
Oh, boy, that's
Yeah,
great.
It is nice. And my husband's a history nut,
Yeah.
so, and I'm still working.
I just read on Facebook that Gettysburg is one of the top 10 places for in Kennet, right, Kennet, and I can't remember the other ones, but yeah.
Impressive.
It is impressive. It is impressive.
Louise. You want the several names I've had?
How many?
Yeah, we knew all about it. Two, and then I took back my main name in a short time. I started working anyway for fun and games. And during the summer up here, I work in a campground.
What campground?
The Philadelphia Westchester KOA campground.
Oh, okay.
It's my fun job.
So are you Minnie Mouse?
Oh yeah, I'm Minnie Mouse, all right.
Do you have a motorhome or a fifth wheel?
Fifth week that we take down to Florida.
And where do you stay in Florida when you go down?
Down in Florida.
Good for you.
That's my Castro. Working a hot dog stand, Casey's Corner.
How's the soup? Good?
Very good. Delicious.
Nancy Weimer Butler, since we have 2 butlers, Nancy Butler. Nancy Woodward was a butler for the relation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Anyway, my husband and I, we have been doing some traveling. I retired 5 years ago already. Rural Hospital Osborne and Parksburg Seniors, and we've had a ball, both of them, going to different places and hearing different things. The doctors have different seminars, which is really interesting. If you ever get a chance to hear some of it, of what's coming
Probably
for some of
should.
us. But we've had a good time. Been married for 48 years, 48 years and ladies.
I'm Kay West years, and in my next life I plan to be Judy Nickel. As far as this life goes, I'm still upright on the right side of the ground. So. I have nothing else to say.
Where do you live, Kay?
I have a Westchester address. It's near Kennett Square, near Montwood Gardens.
Brooks Eanings. Been married for 48 years. I have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. And my daughter lives in Portland, Oregon, and I have 2 grandchildren, 6 and 3. They're actually going to be 7 and 4. Both of them were born in May, 3 days apart.
Oh, boy.
And I go back and forth from Florida. We went to Florida for 3 I was in Portland for 4 months. And then I came home for October, November, and December, and then went to Florida for January, February, and March. And now I'm getting ready to go back to Portland in May for my grandkids' birthdays. I am very involved with the Chester County School Nursing Alumni Association. And my place is in Mount Dora. I rent a place.
All right, now, Dora.
Yeah.
They have a big grant show. They were having a big grant show right before we
Yes,
left.
they did. Oh, okay.
You know.
Top that, you know?
That's a hard act to follow.
Well, see, I wasn't here last year, so I couldn't say.
Died. 2 kids, 4 grandchildren, and they keep me busy. And I'm in Mill Creek, Black Country Ladies Auxiliary.
Oh, nice.
Busy with that, and never a dull moment, but nothing like yours. That's about it. And I'm not retired, I'm just tired. Your turn.
Yeah.
51, Linda Brown.
Wow.
And I have 2 children, and my son still lives at home with us, and I have a daughter in Bucks County, and we have 1 grandson who's very busy in baseball, and that's where I spend most of my time, especially in the spring and summer, watching him play ball. We've done some
How old is he?
cruises. 8. He's 8. And he loves coming out to the farm.
How many grands?
Like to
How
add
many
that
grands?
My mother thought that lady was the nicest, most wonderful person she had ever met.
I remember.
Just absolutely adored you. Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
She was a nice lady too.
I enjoy every minute of it. I do what I want, when I want. If someone needs help, I go and help them. I travel if I want. And I enjoy life.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm Sandy Looney, Anderson Looney. I did not graduate with the class of '63.
But that's okay, we still love you.
Norman Looney was a graduate, and miss him very much. It's been 46 years. Wow, well, they were like in the summer. They're all like a month apart, the same day. I still spend a lot of time with them. I have 2 children, Kimberly and Robert lives with me in Kirkwood. I live in Upper Pines, which was my grandfather's property. So I'm still back home. My father would come out and say I'm home. And that's this month. So that's about mine. I still work. I'm working at AGI, the food service. So I've been there 30 years. So I don't live a very active life in back and forth. You
spend a lot of time on the road.
On the road a lot.
You've been married, as he told you, 254 days. God has been good, very good. I'm busy. I retired in law practice about 9 years ago. Retired from being a charter school operator about 3 years ago. Now in my 3rd retirement, I'm busier than ever. I'm active in the Alumni Association of Lincoln University, Chester County Alumni Chapter, of the National Register. It's been quite a challenge working with the university, but we're actually getting there. In fact, in about a month or 2, through negotiations with the National Trust, Lincoln University will be declared a national treasure.
Oh, great.
Wow.
So we're real happy about
What
that.
had chills.
Yeah.
And in my personal life, Joe and I, our families have doubled as a result of our union.
I have 2 that I know. I don't know about you.
See, we now have 2 doctors, 2 lawyers.
Wow. Two Indian chiefs?
My oldest daughter will graduate from Lincoln University in May next week. At age 45, she goes back to school.
Wow.
Is that because Mom kinda,
No, she actually came, she said hated Westboro, would never live there. And fell in love with Chester County. Fell in love. And then one day she said she was gonna go back to school. I held my breath, hoping she was gonna say Lincoln University, and she did. So now she will be 3rd generation graduate. I'm really happy for her. And together we have now 6 grandchildren, 3 who live near Orlando, Florida. And then I saw 2 babies. I think there were 2 babies in those pictures, and those are children of my youngest daughter. So we are very, very busy. Joe likes to travel. He's still working with State Farm Insurance. And they have the most wonderful conventions. I've been to Las Vegas. I've been everywhere. I mean, he's just having a ball. So, guys, thank you. We'll go do dear things.
As a school psychologist for 35 years. And my mother was declining in health, and I was getting married.
Certainly.
So I decided I didn't have time to work, so I retired. And Jim and I have done quite a bit of traveling, and probably my interests are gardening and playing golf when it's nice. And he has 2 children and 4 grandchildren. Beginning of May, from the University of Connecticut, so we're going up there for graduation. No tires too. So that's about it for me. And being in touch with Dolores Domero Rowe, many of you know probably that Leon has been suffering with cancer for many years. Is that correct? Liquid radiation. And there was a group of them and they had a bad reaction, so they're reassessing that treatment at this time. So she said, please keep them in our prayers. She seemed well, but this particular date, the 4th Saturday of April, is not good. We're on their schedule, look at another date than the 4th Saturday of April. Also, Nancy Young, who lives in Connecticut also, we started meeting for lunch a couple years ago when I realized she lived in Connecticut. And so we meet when my husband and I go up and visit with his family. And she had a cataract surgery in December, and just as they were planting the lens, she coughed. And the lens got lost in the eye. And she had to wait till January till a retinal surgeon was able to find the lens and take it out. So she has been slowly trying to get that eye back to normal. And she's not going to know for a couple more months until the full extent of what the situation is going to be. But she likes to play golf, and she has 2 children. And in May, she's going to be in France. She goes there every year for about a month to visit her daughter and 2 grandchildren and son-in-law. And her son-in-law is, Dolores said to say hello. Nancy Nancy Butler. Nancy Woodward Butler, I was right. It's tough. It's hard enough to remember the last names, let alone the married one. She was sorry to miss it, but her husband is head of his condo.
Last night, she said she would be here at 1 o'clock. I said it starts at 11:15. Okay, I'll be there. Who knows?
she might show up next Saturday.
She'll be here in a
Nice to meet everyone. Is everything okay? And does anyone need anything?
Thank you. More coke.
Yes, I got that. Thank you.
And Carol Pusey left me a message, said she would have loved to come, but her has a long trip from Tennessee. And Sherry was supposed to come, but she has 2 grandchildren going to their first prom tonight, and she has to be there to take pictures. So she said to say hi to everybody.
Who was that?
Sherry.
Okay, gotcha.
Did you hear from Beth Lucina?
I have not heard, she has not responded.
I guess one of the reunions we had at Jim Mark, which was several years ago. Well, the last one. She's on, I think she's on kidney dialysis, and she's not in very good shape. And the last time I talked to her, she said there's just no way. But Dick Tipton had told me, he says, you tell her I'll go get her. And she says, I just can't make the trip.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So anyway, I met Margie last year. So Margie gave me a call and she said, can you do me a favor? Sure, why not? She said, can you get a cake for Alice's birthday with her classmates? I said, sure. So we got a birthday cake for Alice to hit that 7-0.
Oh, jeez. I have done 70 on there. Oh, my.
Yeah, I thought I'd say it, just trying to blow them all out, Alice. Oh, Maggie. All right, wait a minute.
Oh, that's it, oh.
You didn't blow them out, Adam. Thank you, everybody. We went to over there. No, nobody was in New London in 6th grade. They built Kemblesville. No, they built Kemblesville. When we were in 6th grade, when we were in 5th grade, we were in New London. We went to New London, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Then they built Kemblesville. We went there for 6th. Then they built Avon Grove, and we went 7 through 12.
Right. We went there in 6th grade. We just moved up here. And Carver and I went to right. New
Because
London.
they closed, when they built Kemblesville, they closed New
Yes,
London.
and then we come to New London.
Louise, I didn't have you on tape. Tell me again where you went
Auburn School.
and what grades.
It was 1 through 4.
Do you remember your teacher's name?
Mrs. Grindstaff.
Oh, very
And she
good.
went on to teach in Avon Grove.
Okay, okay. So Judy, I'm on tape now, Judy. Say your school again.
North Banks,
North Banks, okay.
London Britton Township.
And you were there for how many grades?
What was a community building for 3rd and 4th for 2 years. That was the one-room school.
West Bank.
And then we went to West Bank for 5th grade with Mrs. Walker.
Okay,
Was that
Gail.
your
And then
children's
to,
place? It was near
they built a
Jordy's.
brand new school in Kemble's.
Right.
Now.
That's where Alice and yeah, we all can.
Well, Sister and I know each other from Sunday school since we were 1.
Oh, and
Always have to be 1 up. I remember that.
Gail, right?
Wait a minute.
Gail, you're much too quiet. We gotta hear where you went.
I went to Sunnyview School.
Sunnyview.
Sunny Side, wasn't it?
Sunnyside.
For what years? What grades?
just 1st grade.
Then where?
First and 2nd grade. Then when it was Charlton School was 3rd grade, and then 4th and 5th grade was West Grove, and 6th.
You remember where you went?
I went to a one-room school in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and there were only 4 people in my grade. So until 4th grade, then I came to Kennett, and then we moved to West Grove, and I went to
Avondale, okay.
Yeah, I went to 1st grade in Avondale, and then they switched to West Grove, and then
I didn't know we were doing schools now. West Grove Elementary, and then till 6th grade, and then you went to Avon Grove in 7th grade.
Okay.
Avon Grove High School.
Okay, Nancy.
What juvenile detention?
Was it Glen Mills?
I went to the elementary school up here at Summit and Myrtle, 1 through 6. Before that, though, I was in kindergarten with Mrs. Gordon High School in the 1st class. 7th to 12th grade that we went through.
Who went all the way through.
Yeah, we did. We opened it up too.
Okay, Kay, you're on.
Same as Nancy.
Okay, okay, all right.
Same as Lois, but I have one other thing to share. Lois, that's my girlfriend. Kay and I were born 1 week apart, and we were born in the Westbrook.
Wow.
Because it was only a one-room maternity.
Who was the doctor?
Dr.
Dr. Yeah, he was my doctor.
He thought I had a dislocated finger and wanted to pull it out to bring it in. I'm missing the bone in there. He didn't know a thing. But he was a doctor that did house calls.
Yes, yes, he
Because
did.
he came up and he saw my mother with.
And gave me a shot.
Yes.
I remember that.
He wasn't, but do you remember him reaching in the bottles and giving you a little brown paper that had the pills in
Oh,
it? You
yeah.
count out so many,
Dr. Walmsley
and then
did
say,
that
here you
from
go,
that
one a day. You didn't even know what you were taking. Whatever was in that bottle is what he gave you.
Okay, you're the doctor, I'll do it.
Okay. Mary?
Mine sounds a lot like Judy's. We went to first grade in years. We moved in mid-year to a community building up the road, and we went there, a little bit.
Why did you move?
The class moved, you know,
Oh.
the schools closed the school.
Oh,
and
okay.
We all just went on to the next building. And they were there, we finished up fourth grade there, fifth grade was at West Bank over in Judy Nichols Farm. And then we had our first year in a big brand new school, Campbellsville, Significant Great High School. And that's it.
Good. Linda?
Well, I lived in Westchester, so we went to Westchester Elementary. It's still there, it's an apartment building now, but first through sixth. And then my father was transferred out here with the electric company
Oh,
and started at the high school,
okay.
7th grade.
Okay.
I went to Avondale Elementary from grade 1 through 5th, and they closed that school. Came to West.
Me?
Yeah, you were next.
I went to Oxford Elementary and high school. And Norman went to a one-room schoolhouse off of Ewing or someplace back in that area, over the bypass. And then he was at Kimblesville and then high school.
Okay, great.
I would like to make a note that when we went to Kimblesville, we were all very hot stuff because the toilets flushed. We didn't.
What did you have, Judy?
Outhouse.
What did you have? Outhouse. Wow.
I don't miss those. It was. I don't miss
New
those.
London had two bathrooms, they had one upstairs and one downstairs.
In our buildings. No running water.
We had big
No,
coolers.
same here. We had a big hot plate stove in the middle.
So what was it, how did they heat the school?
There was a
Hot
coal
plate stove.
Mary Jane, whose mother brought her. And she sat right in front of me and she cried. I felt so sorry for her. Because she didn't want her mother to leave. But I think after that, I don't think you cried the rest of the day. Once she left, you were fine. But I will never